Hello and welcome to Bags of Action. My name is Pete and this is a 5-minute Bags of Action review of Extraction from 2015. So this one popped up on Netflix. I didn't know anything about it. I saw Bruce Willis's face on the poster and I saw the name and I thought I'd give it a go. It was directed by Stephen C. Miller, who also did Escape Plan 2 and has since done 2 other films with Bruce Willis, and was written by Max Adams and Umar Aleem. So here's the premise of Extraction. A former CIA operative is kidnapped by a group of terrorists. When his son learns there is no plan for his father to be saved, he launches his own rescue operation. So in a nutshell, that sounds pretty good. Bruce Willis is Leonard, he's the CIA operative that's being rescued, and because of that, he's not really in this film very much. He makes an appearance at the start, and as you'd probably guess, spoilers, he makes an appearance near the end, but the rest of the film is carried by Kellan Lutz as his son Harry Turner. Now, I don't recognise this actor. He was in Expendables 3, which I have seen, but he's also apparently been in all of the Twilight Saga movies. Alongside him, there's good support from Gina Carano, from Haywire, Deadpool and Fast and the Furious 6, and also D.B. Sweeney, who was in Taken 2. And I guess in a way, this is a bit like films like Taken, where someone's rescuing a family member, although this time it's the father being rescued, not the child. So the premise is quite good. I went into it, as I say, with no real idea what was happening, but I was a little bit gutted, really, that Bruce Willis is in it so much. Lutz is good at the physical stuff. He has a couple of John Wick-style close combat fights that are really well choreographed and filmed, but his acting I didn't think was the best. Gina Carano isn't really given enough to do here, and you don't really buy her character's motivation either. In fact, that's the biggest problem. You don't really buy much of what happens in this film. The plot is episodic, it moves beat to beat, and you never quite get a sense of how each scene plays into the next one. The script was probably my biggest problem with the movie. There's some heavy exposition going on, and some really clunky lines that feel 20 years out of date, and not in a good way. I had similar issues with Escape Plan 2, so it could be this director's work is not for me. But it's hard not to remember Bruce Willis and think of Die Hard, Sixth Sense, 12 Monkeys, Pulp Fiction, Unbreakable Red, even Moonlighting, and wish he wasn't slumming it in this kind of movie. I think post-Expendables, his career has gone in a really strange direction, and I'm almost crying out for him to be in a decent TV series, turning up in Westworld or True Detective, or maybe something new built around him. So, Extraction, what did I like about it? It was well made, the cinematography is really good, and you don't get too much of a sense that it's a relatively low-budget indie film. The fight scenes are good, as mentioned, and Gina Carano, some of her scenes are really, really effective. What do I think could have been better? The story, the script, the performances, and the lack of Bruce Willis. These things really added up to make this a painful watch, really. Almost like the extraction of a tooth, you could say. So, to be honest, if it wasn't for doing this review, I probably would have stopped the film halfway through, which is just a sign when you've got a lead that isn't that charismatic, and you've got a story that's kind of ploddy and doesn't make sense, that, this may not be for you. So I'm going to give Extraction 1 bag of action out of 5. So have you seen Extraction? Do you agree with my assessment of it? Feel free to comment below or get in touch with us via email, Facebook or Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe and like our channel.